Today is Duni Day, which is for me always a day to renew my commitment with Baba or my contract with him, however you want to call it. So let's take a minute silence for him. My sweet bells from Araban. Anyway, so, well, this is the book, by the way, with my fabulous notes in it. There are two things that came more from Baba, which is the name Meher Baba Comfort, and have no page numbers in it. I guess Baba wants us to just get lost in it. The book is a collection of notes from Baba that I got within my heart as I do my morning journals and other ways. The notes are only of Baba's part of the conversation, so my part is missing, and also the explanations of sometimes the connotation and like that. And I think that way you can put whatever you want into it. It took from 98 to 2016, that's the notes in the book. The ability to do this kind of writing has developed slowly and gradually. In the beginning, it would be just one sentence, 3 words, that's it. And then slowly, by now, when Baba shows up in my writing, it's half a page and a half, and I love it. It's just very, very sweet. So it started when I came to Baba. I didn't really have any background, I didn't know anything about spirituality or whatever have you. I wasn't even talking with God. So it was all very new, and I started collecting Baba quotes from his writing. That meant a lot to me, that I really liked, and I would put them on index cards. I also added some notes from Saint Teresa or others that I really liked. And that was the beginning. That was my prize collection, the Baba quotes. I loved it. Then I started adding lessons from Mehrabad. You know how in Mehrabad, Baba is so clear in us, what he says, what he wants, his words, it's just so precise. So as time went by, I started adding these to my index cards. And as time went by, I started adding something that Baba told me at the center. And then time went by, so this is adding and adding. My prize collection is getting bigger and bigger. And then with age and illness and lack of money, the traveling to Mehrabad got smaller and smaller, and Baba started showing up more and more in my daily life. Parallel to that, and it seems it all happened so naturally and over such a long period of time that I didn't even notice it. So then I started doing a book called The Artist Way, that many of you know, and she asks to write 3 pages every morning. So I've been doing that for many years, and sometimes when I would be writing, I would feel Baba coming up and have something to say too. Now I forgot to mention, in my morning pages, I always write Baba first, and then I talk to him. When I would feel Baba coming up and having things to say too, I would switch to a pink pen, so that whatever Baba wrote was very clear from what I wrote. And when I would finish a notebook, I would copy whatever Baba wrote to index card and add them to my sets. So as time went by, I sometimes would close a set and start another one. By now, you can imagine I have 3 boxes like that of index cards. Another thing that happened at a certain point, and I really don't know when or why, I started looking at one card each morning. I would look at one card each morning. Each morning I would look at a card, and then the next morning at the next card. And I would use it as a way to remember Baba through the day. you know how some people remember Baba at 8, at noon, and at 5. So this would be my thing. What was my Baba card for today? Oh, okay, I should pay attention to that. And sometimes it would be like a warning, you know, watch out not to fall into this trap, and I mean my traps, like anger, don't get angry, or things like that. So it would be a warning sometimes, but mostly just the connection with Baba, another way to remember him. I know we all always look for tricks to do that. So the book has, the notes in the book are in different colors, that according to the different sets. As I would switch a set, then I would switch a color in the book too. Yeah, and then, why did I do the book? And I am not sure why I did the book. In a way, my purpose in it is to strengthen the faith in Baba. Yeah. I think one reason why I did the book is because sometimes I wonder if I could take things from this lifetime to the next, what is it that I would take? Baba is a given. That's a guarantee that he will be there in my next lifetime. But for me, these notes from Baba are more important than my Baba story. The Baba story is the tricks that Baba had to do to get my attention. You know, look, the flashing lights, right? But the notes are more his daily work with me, how he's patient. He'll repeat the same thing over and over again with a little change, you know. So I think that was my motivation in writing it, my next lifetime, such as it is. Another thing about the book is the cover, which is dear to my heart and I think to some other people's heart. So the cover is a knitted picture I did of the 2 rocking chairs in the guest house to a very dear person, Arlene Stearns. And it took me a long time to do it because why would you do a picture of 2 chairs, right? And I finally did it. It kept gnawing on me until I finally did it, and I gave it to her maybe a year before she passed. So I was happy I didn't linger on that more than that. Anyway, when Baba talks to me, his voice varies. Usually he is very easygoing. Sometimes he'll be stern. Like one time I felt like I don't matter. And Baba said, you do matter. Don't make that mistake again. Which was a bit stern. Sometimes he'll be funny. Like he'll say, what are you doing laying on your back, meaning being sick, when I have so much work I want you to do? Does he tell you that sometimes? Yeah. Or he'll say, today spend time with Mera and with me, and with me and with Mera. We are a good influence on you. It's like, you know, things like that. It's like, what? Or he'll say, he'll put the unexpected there. So he'll say, today, and I only noticed that more when I was doing the book. Today, do the laundry, do the dishes, cook, and have an exhibit. You know? It's like an exhibit is a big deal for me. It's not in line with cooking and doing the laundry. But it's his way of kind of bringing things to a better perspective. Many times Baba repeats himself, and I think when Baba repeats himself, it's because I didn't get what he's trying to tell me. And some of these things are in the book because he will repeat himself, and then in the end he'll have a different sentence that I felt was so important that I wanted to include it. I think basically that's pretty much all I've got to say. I'll read a little bit from the book, just 3 of the things there. So it's all in Baba's voice. All of it is just what Baba said, what I felt he said. As for me, I am happy and dancing and loving you. Be nothing and yourself and the whole world for me. Be happy with me in a simple, pure joy. Let's dance together over mountains and hills and worlds and incarnations. You and me. That is all that is needed for the world to be perfect. And that is given. Come, my love. Amen. Many times Baba will say amen at the end. Maybe it's me who say that, I don't know. But I also think that while Baba's notes are personal and it's his way of working with me, with my personality, with my body type, with my karma, it's also impersonal because we all go through the same things, you know. As human beings, we come, we live, we go, whatever, we get sick. This one he told me in Mehrabad. In Mehrabad, I always love the Baba picture in my room. There are different pictures in different rooms. I always pay close attention to it. But this particular time, the picture of Baba was showing him from over his shoulder while he's writing something. Someone told me that Baba is actually signing the Book of New Life or something with the new life. Anyway, so this message came from, or note came from Baba about that, and I got it in Mehrabad. Pay attention to my photo in your room. It's not insignificant nor coincidental. I love you, and the photo talks about that. Do not worry about the thing. Go on talking to me now. Remember to imagine me by your side, even when you're talking to me. You think it's not important, but it is, and very, very important. Baba many times tell me to imagine him by my side. Even he said once, even as you're praying for me in the samadhi, or by the samadhi outside, even with that, imagine me by your side praying with you, while you're in front of my picture praying to me. And it's a nice practice, I like it. You know, what's not to like? Having him by my side, I can only wish. The last one I read is painful because of the background story for it. The background story is not there, but I will share it.
A little louder.
Yes, thank you. No, it's a good practice for me to talk louder. So, my favorite time at the center is Amartisi. I always feel Baba walking in the barn during the silence, catching people, adjusting us for the next year, but I always see him there. So Amartisi is like, if there is only one time I can go to the center once a year, let it be that. Well, a few months before Amartisi, someone started bringing a service dog to the center. Exactly the kind of dog I'm highly allergic to.
What kind of a dog?
I don't know the kind, small.
Oh.
So I started negotiating with Barbara. Barbara, could you please just maybe have some places on the center where they can bring the dog, but one place that you keep dog free? And she said no. So this is going on, Amartisi is coming near, and I have this in my heart. And then, I'm gonna try not to cry now, the barn got attacked. That was exactly that year. And needless to say, I felt terrible because, you know, is it my fault? Because I was going through all that. Well, the ceremony for Amartisi got moved to the meeting place, and Baba told me very clearly that I'm not to go. So that's the background for this note here. I am present with you here and now. All you need to do is make room for me and feel it. I want you to know that and to make it your second nature. That's why I don't want you to go to places where you feel me, you know, like the barn. I want you to learn to feel me here and now. Amen. Happy Amartiti, your Baba who loves you. Anybody have any questions? good. Either way, it's good.
How did you figure out when to do it? Like, you're still doing that, I assume.
The writing
Yeah.
with Baba,
Yeah.
or
How
the
did you
doing
decide
it
it
into
was
a
time
book.
to put it in a book, even though you're continuing?
Maybe I feel a stage has ended, and I don't know how long I've got. By that I mean, how long have I got when I'm able to do things, you know? I might live 20 more years, but be only able to do it for 5 more. Yeah. Another thing is, there was a very strong kind of image from Baba, and that's the one before last in the book. I'm not going to read it, it's a bit long, but you can have a look later. And that one was the day of new life, 2016, the day that Johnny Agin passed away. And I think that somehow made a big impression. So that's one reason why I did it. So. I want to say that whatever you write, we're going to spread in the room, but whatever you write to Baba and whatever Baba writes to you is personal. We're not going to do a sharing on it. It's just between you and Baba. And I suggest that you'll sit on it for a week or a month or a year before sharing it with people. Just keep it and let it unfold within you. Next. When I write to Baba, I write my Baba on the top. But in Hebrew, it's better because in Hebrew, it's Baba Sheli. So Baba comes first, while in English, my Baba, the my comes first. So take a minute to think, how would you address Baba? And try to think not of a high title, on the contrary, a childlike name, you know, Baba Lee Sweetie, Honey Bun, Smiley, anything that is near and dear to your heart. So please close your eyes and take a minute to think about it. And when you have the name, open your eyes so I'll know you're done and you've got it. Okay? Next, what will Baba call you? What will be his nickname for you? And here too, try to think of childhood names. The name that Baba calls me, and I didn't realize all the echoes of it. In Hebrew, it means the one who delights my heart. But it also means, it's got the word desire in it. And I didn't realize it. I was writing it all the time, and it wasn't until I came to translate it for the book that I realized, hey, 1 minute. And it's not just desire, it's actually a word that is used for lust, too. And the idea that Baba's heart desires us, it's just so sweet. Isn't it? It's just nice. So what would be Baba's nickname for you? Again, close your eyes, open when you're done, so I know we are ready to move on. There is no right or wrong way to write. So start by writing your nickname for Baba, and write half a page or a page of whatever comes up to your mind. If nothing comes up to your mind, tell Baba, Baba, I'm bored, I can't think of anything. Write any songs that come up to your mind. With me, Baba likes doing lists. Shopping list, to-do list, list of things I would throw in the dooney, wish list. If I had $1 million, what would I do with it? Any list he's thrilled with. So write half a page or a page, and if at any point you feel Baba is coming up, switch pen, and write what he says. Other than that, I will, in like 3-5 minutes, I will ding the little bells and just move to Baba's pen, write his name for you, and imagine what he's going to tell you. And you can disperse in the room if you want to, keep private. And here we go. If you did not switch to the Baba pen yet, switch and imagine what he would tell you. So I just want to add one more thing, which is there is always the question of is it really Baba or my imagination? When I went to Mehrabad for the first time, it was 3 months after coming to Baba, and I didn't really understand that Baba is God. When I came there, people were bowing down at the tomb. Now, being from Israel, not bowing down, so many people died over that issue. And in Israel, you learn it from childhood. You don't do that. You don't bow down, right? So there was the predicament. Now what to do? And I told myself, if I bow down and Baba is not who he said he is, then I've been stupid. But if I came all that way and he is who he says he is, and I did not bow down, that is really bad. And that was the end of that. And I think with this too, I just ask Baba, Baba, that it will be what I hear from you, that it will be yours. And if I make a mistake, please correct it along the way, make it not happen. He has his ways. So if you're done writing, just enjoy the foodies and goodies and keep your Baba pens with you, they're a gift. And thank you everybody for coming. Yeah. And remember, it's practice. The more you do it, the more Baba becomes clear when he talks. Thank you.
That's wonderful.